Let us begin. Noah Yuuki wrote. So excited. Her soothing voice.
注意事項 9. 雪色雪花雪の跡
As you guys know, I'm a huge fan of this voice actress, mainly because of her very incredibly buttery, smoothie voice. I love her voice. It provokes something in me that I don't know, that I've never seen before in man. Anyway, hi, my name is VitaminDStain and welcome back, or welcome to episode 4 of Noah Yuuki. Very excited to be here today. I already miss Kosaka, but I mean, sometimes I'll be speaking English and I just randomly throw in Spanish or Japanese. It's kind of weird. I just be switching sometimes automatically without even thinking about it. But anyway, miss Kosaka, but I'm also very, very looking forward to this. Very excited for this. I probably have to mess with the audio again. Yes! Let's get started. Wait, I'm not ready. How do you full screen this? Oh god. Oh no, I'm doing it wrong. Help.
Hi, こんにちは それともこんばんは
No, you had it right the first time. It's currently evening. Afternoon for me.
かけるの世界の目が不完全なせいでしょうね。あなたを見つけるの本当に大変なのよ。無事にまたつながってよかったわ。さっき、あなたにとってはさっきじゃないかもしれないけれど、別にどうでもいいわね。そんな細かい話は。以上と言ったけれど、あなたが本格的に運命への介入を始める前に確認させてほしいことがあるの。簡潔に聞くわ。あなた、オーバーロードを使いこなせていないでしょう。相変わらず反応が薄いわね。おぼろげに戸惑いが伝わってくるけれど。まあ、確認するまでもないわね。オーバーロードを完全に掌握していたのなら、私の接触に戸惑うはずがないし、あなたの今までの干渉の仕方から無数の枝を自由に観測することもできないんじゃないかしら。
Sorry.
質問しても無意味ね。意思疎通が困難な時点で使いこなせていないのは明白。
Will I be able to at some point? That'd be so cool.
オーバーロードは言い伝え通りのスペックならば世界の目の完全な上位互換なのよ。つまり私にできることはあなたにもできるはず。いえ、できなくちゃいけないのよ。何せあなたは世界の支配者なんだから。オーバーロードの使い手が情けないままじゃがっかりなのよね。私としては。
Me pathetic? Ha! Nah.
というわけで連動をあげるわよ。私が手伝ってあげる。
Thank you.
意思疎通ができないことはまあいいわ。さして重要じゃない。
Debatable.
問題なのは自由に観測・干渉できていないこと。私がどうやって他の枝を認識しているのか。そのイメージをあなたに伝えるわ。
What do you mean by that?
集中して。行くわよ。
The soundtrack always gives me chills. Whoa, we finally have a branch! What? That's so cool. Overlord. Let's see. Sophie's space, a place for Sophidia and 9 to connect. You mean me? I'm not 9. I guess I'm 9. Oh, there's like the different branches. It's showing you the different branches. And at one point they split up. Oh, that's pretty freaking cool. What? Wait, what's this? The siblings' daily lives. Gakir and Solio live their days in peace. However, two shadows lurk in the darkness. Wait, what's this about? Nominous shadow. Oh, this was back in Kujo's route. Oh. And then we just did this one. The fight continues. Kakeru and Haruka work together with their comrade to retrieve artifacts. Their efforts will not cease until peace returns to the city. Whoa. Wait. Ha. This is really cool, but why is this one highlighted? Okay.
どうかしら。何か変化はあった？
Yes?
どうやらつかめたようね。
I think so. Finally got a tree branch thingy.
よかっ
Flowchart.
た。これで伝わらなかったら、なぜこんなボングをオーバーロードが選んだのかしらって嘆かなきゃいけないところだった。
Rude?
それじゃ次のステップよ。任意の枝に干渉する。どの枝に干渉するかは私から指定させてもらうわ。
Oh!
4月17日。時刻はそうね、19時頃がいいかしら。
Oh, is this gonna be the split off point for the branch for Yuki's route?
そう、私とカケルが初めて会った日よ。その時点の私に全てを伝えてほしいの。
Huh?
オーバーロードのこと、そしてもう一人の私、イーリスのことを。なぜかはやればわかるわ。とにかくお願いね。
Okay, only because you asked so nicely.
もし私が信じなかったらこう言ってちょうだい。10歳の時におねしょをした。ってこれ言わなくてもよかったかしら。でも私の性格上素直に信じると思えないのよね。
I didn't know Plushie's leak.
とにかく頼んだわよ。残念だけど鑑賞の仕方は私では教えられない。ああ、そうだ。鑑賞を終えたら次は今の私を呼んで。私からは呼ばないわよ。あなたから私を呼ぶの。さあ、いつでもどうぞ。これがオーバーロードを御す第一歩。しっかりね。ない
Will do, ma'am. I'll do my best. I don't think we were gonna start off like this. That's cool. So that's why the dates are important. I believe I read a comment a while back, probably in Kujo's route, saying that the dates have some significance. Which kind of sucks because there's a lot of days and I have terrible memory. Okay, well, interesting. Still wondering why Soda's route is highlighted, but okay. It's telling me to click here, so I click here. Oh.
ありがとうございました。
This is back to Kujo's route, basically. I finished my meal and exit the cafe. I'm so glad we didn't get that rundown of what was going on. I thought it was going to be a 4th episode in a row where they're like, oh yeah, so like the relics and then something broke and then powers and blah 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 blah. They skipped all of that this time. Thank gosh. I finished my meal and exit the cafe. Weekday or weekend, this town is dead at night. I remember reading this dialogue. There are more shops here than around my folks' place, but things are just as deserted here as they are there. Hardly any cars pass through the streets late at night, so on a whim, I decided to leave a little dangerously and go walk down the middle of the road. This is the kind of freedom I have now. Sure, I only started living on my own so that Sora could have her bratty way, but nowadays I've adjusted to this lifestyle so much that the idea of going back to live with my folks just sounds like a pain in the butt. I decided to take the long way back home to burn off some calories. I'm right next to the shrine and I figure I might as well go inside while I'm here, so I step through the imposing gate. Look. Not a trace of the festival remains. The shrine has been returned to its usual somber mood. Now the question would be... Here's a question that just popped up. Well, Sophie did just say it'll make sense when you remind the other her or something about certain things, but still, like, from the writer's point, I want to understand why they feel the need to throw in 4 different maidens, aside from the fact that they all have their own unique story and character development. Like, why it has to be that you have to go back into different branches and stuff. Maybe it'll make sense if I keep reading, but I guess I'm just saying what comes to mind. as I usually do. The shrine has been returned to its usual somber mood. Also, it's pretty darn creepy in the dark. I've got no real business here, so I guess it's about time I head back. I swear I'm not just scared. Honest. Oh, this is the day we meet Sophie. I pick up on the dark shadow of the corner of my eye and give a little jump. Oh, you. Okay, just a cat. No, wait. What is it? I'll get closer to confirm.
ぬいぐるみ?
Ah, yes. Some anime merch, I guess. Pretty unconventional. I guess if I wanted to be nice, I could call it interesting. Yeah, it has a pretty interesting design. Must have been dropped by a festival goer or a staff member. Dang, this thing spooked me good. I reach over to move it over to a spot where someone is more likely to see it when... So let's highlight again. Kakeru didn't do this. I, the 9th user, did this. I installed the memories and blah 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 blah. My head aches. Flood of memories pour into my brain. Wait, does that mean he gets all the memories of all the other branches too, and the other and the stuff with the other maidens as well? If so, that'd be one heck of a memory install. I'm utterly confused. Artifacts users overload a host of words I'm unfamiliar with, but now I understand. I understand what those words all mean. And I understand what it is I must do now. Looks like I've become a different version of me. It's a creepy feeling. You have me to thank, by the way. But I guess it's because they're my memories, even if they're not ones that I've personally experienced. The dissonance soon fades and sense of familiarity begins to set in. Be that as it may, the confusion I'm feeling still remains. It's like I've suddenly gotten booted into some fantastical world after living a life of supreme mediocrity. Eesh. Anyway, I better hurry and get things done. Just suddenly lock in mode. I like that. That's pretty fun. She's like, what the fuck? How do you... Sophie wriggles ever so slightly in my hand. She's unnerved. That's understandable. Truth be told, so am I. There's a part of me calling myself an idiot for talking to a plushie, and there's another part of me who's confident that this same plushie is a visitor from another world. And let's not forget the part of me that's thinking, I've gone bat crap crazy, of course.
ぬいぐるみのふりはしなくていい。
I speak to her as I change locale. I place Sophie down in an area that's hard to see from the entrance of the shrine and take a seat beside her. CG? CG? No?
警戒もしなくていい。俺は味方だ。アーティファクトやユーザーのことは理解しているし、ソフィーの目的も知っている。魔眼の回収、そしてもう一人の自分を止めること。だろ？イリス。
Sophie is Sophie and Iris is Sophie is Iris, bro. Bro. I still can't believe that. Last episode I was stuttering. God dang it. Last episode I read that and I'm like, okay, that's pretty crazy. But now it's like it's starting to finally hit now that I started this episode. And by the way, I recorded the last episode like today is Sunday the 15th for me of March. I recorded that episode like 3 days ago, and it's barely hitting. Sophie is Iris. It's just a different Sophie, a different version of her. Like, bruh, that's wild. The plot twists in this game have been crazy, genuinely bamboozling me. She's putting on an act. She's putting on an act. No response at all. I even tacked on that. Isn't that right? For style points, but she's not giving me a single response. Wait. Am I actually going back crap?
ソフィーさん、そろそろ返事をしていただけると。
It'd be funny if Sophie was messing with him. Zero response. Crap, maybe I should get checked at the hospital. I might have a brain tumor or something. Yeah, brain tumors surely do things like this. Probably. I don't know. She sighs. Finally, some feedback. Thank God, I actually am sane.
警戒するなと言われてもね。
She says in a languid tone as she begins to float up. I I can feel that she's glaring daggers at me, but her static doll expression makes it hard to tell for sure.
なぜ知っているの？私がイーリスだと。その名はとうの昔に捨てたというのに。
本人から聞いたんだ。未来のソフィーから。
あなた、何を言っているの？
This is so interesting. I'm liking this already.
オーバーロードだ。未来の記憶が俺にはある。
That's me.
警戒を解きたいのなら、そんな荒唐無稽な嘘をつくべきではなかったわね。
嘘じゃない。別の枝の俺を観測してみてくれ。全く違う行動をとっているはずだ。
そのようね。
俺がソフィーのことを知るのは今じゃない。もっと先ってわけだ。世界の目じゃ未来を知ることはできない。それができるのは
オーバーロード。
そういうこと。信じてくれたか。まだか。じゃあ仕方ないな。もう一つ本人から聞いたことがある。もし信じなかった時はこう言えって。
何
？10歳の時におねしょをした。
Sophie's body suddenly jolts one moment and falls limply to the ground the next. Did she the sink with her illusory body? I've never seen Sophie so shaken up over something before. Same.
大丈夫か？
She apparently comes back to her senses as she leaps up at an amazing speed and comes to a halt right in front of me.
あなた、なんでそのことを知って、誰から、いや、必死に隠蔽したから誰も知らないはず。どうしてそんなこと知ってるのよ。
だから本人から聞いたんだよ。
言うはずがない。
じゃあなんで知ってんだよ。
まさかお母様かお父様が気づいていて。
1000年前から今日の地震まで俺たちの世界は断交してたわけだろ。仮にソフィーの両親が秘密に気づいていたとしても俺に伝える手段ないだろ。1000年前なんて俺生まれですらいないぞ。
もう。
She lets out an extremely deep sigh. Her worry and strained demeanor starts to loosen up.
認めるしかないわね。どうやら未来の私は秘密を打ち明けるくらいにはあなたを信用しているって。それと説明するまでもなくこちらの事情を理解しているみたいね。
ああ、頼まれたんだ。未来のソフィーに全てを話せって。
For a sec, I started doubting, okay, maybe I'm not actually the ninth. I'm the ninth user. But then I remember how that Sophie had said there were things she hadn't told Kakeru and that he's not the overlord. So I'm like, okay, no, I'm good. I was like, how embarrassing would it have been and so self-centered of me that had been the entire last episode be like, oh yeah, I'm the ninth user. We'll need to find out that Sophie was actually talking to Kakeru and Kakeru just simply couldn't reply to her.
オーバーロードのことはもういいよな。イーリスのことなんだが。
待って、場所を移しましょう。
ああ、そうだな。こんなところでする話じゃないか。
あなたの家はすぐ近く？
ああ、行こう。
ちゃんとついていくから運ぼうとしなくていいわよ。
But I want to. Nimbly dodging the advances of my hand, Sophie disappeared in the thin air. Oh right, kind of forgot she could do that. I have memories of it, but actually seeing it happen is still pretty spooky.
帰ろう。
I sigh and stand up. My future memories. Yeah, it still feels hecka weird. I get back home and take a breather with a cup of tea when suddenly there's a rift in space and Sophie pops out from it.
で、イーリスが
She gets straight to the point with no lead up. I tell her everything per future Sophie's instructions. I tell her about my future memories of the different branches brought about by Overlord. I tell her about Iris, about the evil eye. Okay, so I'm assuming he knows about everything. Everything that we've seen up until this point in every episode. I tell her about Iris, about the evil eye. Even though none of these memories feel real, I tell her everything as if giving a second-hand account.
なるほどね。あの女もこの世界に。
Oh?
最悪ね。予想はしていたけれど、当たってほしくなかったわ。
Oh, that girl.
腹の探り合いをしている場合じゃないみたいね。まだあなたのことは信用できないけれど、未来の私を信じることにする。助けてくれるかしら。あなたの力が必ず必要になる。何よその顔は。
俺の記憶の中のソフィーはもっとこう生意気な感じなんだが、まさか素直にお願いされるとは。
あなた性格悪いって言われない？
Maybe a little bit.
いや悪い。予想してた反応と違ってたから悪い。驚いた。
でどうなの？手伝ってくれるの？
手伝うさ。そうするしかない。なんたって無理やり記憶を植え付けられたからな。
That's true, I did that.
何度も死んで大事な人も殺されて、あんな光景リアルで目にするのはごめんだ。だから手伝うさ。イーリスを止めるために。
ありがとう。
Sophie's gentle voice once again contradicts my memories. I see. This was future Sophie's goal, huh? To build her trust with me at a quicker rate. By doing that, Sophie can skip the needless task of monitoring me. Oh. I think it's making sense already. This may be a big enough chance to create a new branch. In any case, with my objective complete, it seems like a good idea to report this to future Sophie. Is that what we're doing? We're just jumping back and forth? That's actually pretty cool. But interesting how it seems like Kakeru's the one that's actually jumping around worlds doing that. Because, again, he can't do that because I have the Overlord thing. It seems that way that it is him, but I think it would be pretty interesting though if that somehow they made it where Kakeru knows of my existence and is like, yo, we should report this to, or you should report this to Sophie. That would have been a really cool extra little detail they could have added to this, just saying. Because without that detail, it seems like Kakeru's the one that's consciously going out of this world to report it to future Sophie. Does that make sense? Nonetheless, this is really cool still. This is actually really cool. I like this.
あら、お帰りなさい。さすがオーバーロード。時間の概念なんて関係ないわね。数秒で戻ってくるんだから。
She looks completely different. She looks like an alien. Look at her eyes. So this is Sophie.
大丈夫。疑ってないわよ。あなたがしっかりやり遂げてくれたって。ちゃんと分かっているから。
Great, now praise me.
4月17日の私と接触したことで現れた変化について話す前に、もしかして私の姿見えているんじゃない？ああ、やっぱりさっきよりも強くつながっているみたいね。あなたの戸惑いと驚きが手に取るようにわかるわ。私からは相変わらずあなたの姿が見えないのは残念だけど、多分これはこっちの問題ね。世界の目の限界。
Do I appear as a plushie for her? That'd be kind of funny.
あなたの方はオーバーロードの扱いに早速慣れてきたようね。それともあなたが私を探してつなげてくれたからかしら。だからつながりが強くなった。ま、なんでもいいわね。無駄話はこれくらいにしておきましょう。 4月17日の私と接触したことで、目論見通り私が最初からカケルに協力的な枝が生まれたわ。ただ残念ながら期待通りとはいかなかったわね。大して大きな変化は生まれなかった。観測しかできない私の力では運命に与える影響なんてその程度ということね。けれど観測できる範囲が増えたわ。カケルを監視しなくなったおかげでね。整理しましょう。情報の共有も兼ねて。まずこれ、カケルがミヤコと親しくなる枝。おそらくあなたが最初に観測した枝じゃないかしら。鑑賞の仕方が明らかに他の枝とは違うのよね。
This is so cool.
どこかたどたどしいというか。
I like this. Yup, first branch.
そのせいか結果も一番芳しくない。魔眼の入手どころか、魔眼のユーザーの正体もわからないまま。そしておそらくこれが2番目に観測した枝ね。空が暴走しかけた枝。あなたが明確に運命に干渉し始めたのがこの枝からなのよ。私も不審がっていたわね。この枝でカケルは魔眼と対峙することになる。もっともユーザー本人じゃなく原体だったけれど。そして3番目、この枝からあなたはカケルへの干渉を強めている。魔眼のユーザーの正体を必死に伝えようとしているわね。そして運命を操り、カケルの死の運命を否定し続けた。おかげでイーリスを退け、魔眼を入手することができた。
What an episode the third one was.
さっき話した新たに生まれた枝だけれど、結局この枝に統合されたわ。
Wait, what?
何が起こるかカケルが知っていたおかげで、私の原体が消失を免れたのと、与一が軽傷で済んだことくらいかしら。変化と言えるのは。でもそのおかげで分かったことがあるの。いえ、見逃していたことに気がついたというのが正しいわね。覚えているかしら、イーリスの言葉を。ノアがアーティファクトの力を発動させた時よ。あの女はこう言ったの。私の魂へ狙いすました一撃。
Oh yeah, I remember that.
引っかかってはいたけれど、余裕がなくてそのまま忘れてしまっていたのよね。うかつだわ。けれど原体を維持できたおかげでじっくりと観察できた。与一とカケルがイーリスの結界を破った瞬間、わずかにサツキとイーリスの魂が揺らめいていたの。つまりほんのわずかではあるけれど、二人の力はサツキとイーリスに届いていたというわけ。もう一人、ノアもやすやすと結界を破ってみせたわね。けれど他の二人とは明らかに違った。
And that is?
揺らめいていたのはイーリスの魂だけ。わかるかしら。あの女の言葉通りよ。まさに狙いすました一撃。ノアはサツキの魂を素通りして同調したイーリスの魂だけを狙ってみせた。
So you're saying Noah is the key here? And is Thy Maiden?
結界さえなければおそらくノアなら。
Ended Iris right then and there.
早速で悪いけれどあの枝に飛んでくれるかしら。
So this is how it's gonna go down, huh?
もしかしたらこれであっさりと終わっちゃうかもしれないわね。頼んだわよ、ナイン。
Yes, ma'am. This is so sick. I wasn't expecting to see her true self at the beginning. A troubled maiden, Haruka visits Kakeru. Waking heirs had already seen through their plan, although they find themselves in dire straits. Yuichi and Enya's timely assistance, as well as Haruka's awakening, turns the tables. They manage to successfully repulse Iris. So we're basically gonna jump to the 3rd episode at the point where she had the artifact emblem in her entire body. When she finally locked in. I wonder how they're gonna do this. Interesting. Hey, they changed the name of this track. What the heck?
私たちの勝利条件はイーリスを先生の体から追い出すこと。世界の目の破壊。
I need a save.
セーブ画面セーブするの。セーブした。本気を出してイーリスの結界は破れない。ノアちゃん、動けますか？ええ、問題ない。やっぱりあなたが鍵だったわね。ごめんなさい。やっと勇気が出せました。悪いことを起こせるならいいことも起こせる。今から起こします。指示してあなたに従う。イーリスの動き止められますか？できる。結界さえなければ。わかりました。九条さん、ソラさん、起きてください。うわ、また気絶してた。ごめんなさい。状況は？今は説明している時間がないので指示通りに動いてください。はい。イーリスは周囲に結界を張って身を守っています。どんな力も通しません。だからソラさん、はい。ソラさんの力でイーリスの結界を消してください。消して、できる？私の力で？できます。今なら。マジか。わかりました。結界が消えたらノアちゃん、イーリスは距離を取ろうとするはずです。ええ、任せて。お願いします。九条さん、イーリスは世界の目を体内に取り込みました。ノアちゃんが動きを止めたら九条さんの力で奪い取ってください。ですが私の力でアーティファクトを奪ってしまったら。大丈夫です。暴走はさせません。はい、わかりました。やってみます。新見さんに合わせます。合図を待ってください。今消えろ。
My first slip right through the barrier. They managed to nullify it.
器用なことを。
I shout to stop her. No, that's not what Yuuki should be doing right now. She clicks her tongue, a sure sign of trepidation. Yuuki should be able to get Iris without hurting Miss Naruse. Oh. Just kill her. Slimer, she's not coming back. Hopefully. Charlie. Yuki's eye shines brilliantly. Brilliantly? She can do this.
さすがにまずいかし。ゴースト！分かってる。立て直す暇なんて与えねえ。攻めて攻めて攻めまくってやるぜ。九条さん、アシストを。イギリスの視界を奪えますか？やってみます。ジ・オーダーアクティブ。
A surge of power gushes out. Her lightning of judgment speeds toward the defenseless Iris and...
パニッシュ。
Yuuki suddenly freezes in place. Her eyes twitch and a cold sweat forms on her brow. She's acting strange. What? What? What is happening?
ユウキさん、まさか攻撃を。
失礼ね。何もしてないわよ。その子が勝手に死にかけてるだけ。
クソ。
Yuuki had been gritting her teeth to keep conscious in Iris's domain this entire time. Right. She had been clinging to consciousness while enduring pressure that would normally knock someone out. She's probably using up the most strength here, next to me. She's finally at her limit, but...
頼む、ユウキ、踏ん張ってくれ。
先輩、これ以上結界消すのきつ。
こっちもそう長くは持たねえぞ。さっさと仕留めろ。
This is giving me chills.
おい。
Uh-oh.
仕留める。仕留め。私が。
Not happening.
私が。
No way.
慌てて損しちゃった。準備が整うまで待ってあげてもいいけれど、ごめんなさいね。
無理。遠い射程圏内に入らないと。
近づきたいのね。なら私から言ってあげる。
Iris starts to disappear from sight. Dang.
それじゃあ。
ユウキ！
さようなら。
Yuuki got slimed. Holy crap. So us as the Overlord were like, oh crap, we gotta go back. Sophie, help! Help! Pause that right there. Future Sophie, we need help. Help, help, help. It didn't work out as planned. We need a better plan.
おかえりなさい。見ていたわ。狙いは良かったけれど失敗ね。あの様子だとノアを救ったところで結果は変わりそうにないわね。残念だけれどあの枝ではイーリスを倒せない。けれど解せないわね。イーリスが本当に何もしていないのならノアに何があったのかしら。
Well, clearly something did happen to her.
対抗力の低い都と空が倒れる中、根性だけで立ち上がった子よ。限界だったとしても余力を振り絞って渾身の一撃を放つわよ。あの子なら他に可能性があるとすれば殺すことをためらった。都のように道徳心が高すぎればあり得るけれど、あの子に限って覚悟を決めていなかったとは思えないし。
I hadn't even considered that possibility, that she was probably hesitant to kill. Because if you remember, she has shown that she wants to do everything legally, with good morals, whatever you consider good. That would make sense, I guess.
考えていても仕方ないわね。あの子、自分の能力を決して明かさなかった。おそらく誰にも心を許していなかった。
Wait, so that's not her true... Wait, what? So this is the episode where we find out. I see.
あの独特な言動も他者と自己の間に明確な境界線を引いているとも取れるし。
Oh, it's unique, alright.
イーリスの焦り具合から鍵は間違いなくあの子が握っている。どうやら知る必要がありそうね。心の内に隠したあの子の素顔。
Ah, so this is setting it up for you have to do a branch where you have to get to know Noah and blah 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 blah.
問題はその方法よね。 あの子か
Interesting.
なり気難しそうだし
Very well written.
やり方は任せるわきっとあなたなら何とかしてくれる
Is there an artifact of Riz?
何よ不満そうね別に投げっぱなしにするつもりはないわよアドバイスしてあげる決して選択をためらわないこと空が消えた枝遥たちが石化した枝悲劇的な結末を迎えた枝をあなたは選定してきたわかるカケルを導くことで望まぬ運命をあなたは否定してきたのよ空が消えたこともカケルを残して全滅したこともカケルが何度も死んだことも全部なかったことになっている世界の目を持つ私は観測できるけれど悲劇的な運命のその先は存在しないただ残死が存在するだけあなたは運命を固定化することでその残死へと分岐する可能性をゼロにできるもう一度言うわよ望まぬ運命をあなたはなかったことにできるのだから失敗を恐れないこと誰かを死なせたら後味が悪いでしょうけど、それは飲み込みなさい
No, especially that scene. Spoiler alert. If you're here, why are you here, by the way? But anyway, spoiler alert. That scene in episode 3 in Haruka's route where everybody got slimed except Kakeru. Everybody turned to stone. That was crazy.
あとはそうねカケルに干渉する際
Well, too
特
late.
定の相手
Too
への
late.
感情と記憶は与えない方がいいわね
That's too late. Should have said that sooner.
まっさらな状態が好ましい判断を鈍らせるかもしれない
I'm already biased towards Haruka. That's your fault. You should have said so sooner.
まあ
Oh well.
くどくどと話しちゃったけど結局今まで通りのやり方で問題ないってことねはあ喋りすぎて疲れたわね頼んだわよないここで吉報を待っているわ
Now, Yuuki. Wait. Why is there so many arrows? What the fudge? Why is there so many arrows? Huh? Rising the action, Kakeru and company plan to destroy the world's eye to sever the connection between Iris and Satsuki. There's so many arrows. Why? What is going on? Which one do you want me to pick? All of them? Well, I'm gonna start with the one in Sora's route, I guess. I like how they made an effort to not only make the flowchart, but they even added the CGs with some descriptions to help you recall the certain moments from specific episodes. That's really nice, big detail. That must have taken quite some time. Wowzers. Okay, well, I'm gonna start with this one right here. This is episode 2. Kakeru and company formed the Valhalla Society with Noah as its leader. They identify regret as enemies and probe their backgrounds after receiving a letter from Haruka. Sora starts to keep in touch with her. Okay. A murmur comes from behind me. Turn around to see Yuuki step out from behind a tree. What's with that weird entrance? And what does she mean by right on time? We never agreed on a time to meet. Guess she's already gotten into her Chuny persona.
振り向かないで正面を向いたまま話して
え、なんで？
どこで奴らが見ているかわからない私たちが手を組んだと悟られない方がいい
ああ、なるほど。
You do realize anyone walking by can see you there, right? In fact, even if I don't turn around, it's going to be obvious to anybody who sees us that the two of us are, in fact, talking. But if I point that stuff out, she'll probably just do something even crazier, so I play along.
昨夜のエンプレスと会っているそうね。
ああ、うん、妹が。九条もそばにいる。
目的は？
え？何？
目的。
ああ、さあな。仲良くなりたいとは言ってたけど。
仲良く？エンプレスなんて名乗っている割には可愛らしいことを言うのね。
ごめん。
何？
声小さくてよく聞こえない。
Sighing, Yuki walks over and sits beside me. Yeah, you don't actually care if people see us talking, do you? Do it.
男性が苦手だそうね。
らしいな。
手よくあなたを排除しただけじゃ。
かもしれない。ただ、ナインボールなら他に100もいるしな。人前でバカなことはしないだろう。
どうかしらね。
何かあれば駆けつけることになっている。
賢明ね。ならば速やかに済ませましょう。
She takes out her phone and fiddles with it for a bit. A second later, my phone buzzes.
データを送った。確認を。
I obediently take out my smartphone and look at her message. Oh, nice! What?
あいつらの写真か。
ええ。あなたたちと問答をしている間に撮っておいた。かなり不鮮明だけれど。
Guys, is the volume okay?
環境
I need to know because she has a really soft voice. Very difficult. Let's try it now. Hold on. Because she has a... I thought Haruka's voice was low, but I feel like hers is even quieter. Let's take a listen again.
ええ。あなたたちと問答をしている間に撮っておいた。
This better? I feel like this is
かな
better.
り不鮮明だけれど。
Mm.
環境設定。
Oh, okay, okay. Watch this, watch this. Want to make sure we hear Noah okay.
ええ。あなたたちと問答をしている間に撮っておいた。
I think this will do. Any complaints or suggestions? Let me know.
暗かったし仕方ないな。助かる。これであいつらを探しやすくなる。
ということは、エンプレス以外はまだ特定できていないのね。
ああ、多分3年だとは思うんだが。
そう。私はフードの女を調べていた。少なくとも私と同学年ではないようだけれど。ただ、クホーの生徒ではないとまだ断言はできない。顔が半分程度しか見えないし、判断材料が少なすぎる。
俺も女の方を調べつつ司令官の特定を急いでみる。
ええ。本名や住所が特定できれば交渉材料くらいにはなる。
その程度でビビる奴らなら助かるんだがな。
名前や顔を隠すのは後ろめたい証。個人情報が彼らへの抑止力となるのなら徹底的に利用すべき。
With that, Yuki gets to her feet.
もう行くのか？
ええ。要件は以上よ。
Mistake. Hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Let me save! What the frick? You know what? We jump back a little more.
ええ。セーブ画面セーブするの？セーブした。
Bro, this is going to be so messy, I feel. Well, maybe not as messy as I think, but it's definitely going to be a lot of jumping around. Alrighty. Memory time.
どうしたの？
ああ、悪い。なんでもない。
体調が悪いなら帰って休んだ方がいい。
大丈夫。そういうわけじゃない。
そう。それじゃあ。
It's nothing serious, he says, but in his mind, what the fuck?
な、もうちょっとだけ話せないか。
Ah, yes. We're gonna use the power of Riz next.
なぜ？
Oh, look! New angle! As one of you guys said, when it's a different route, you get more CGs and angles of the maidens, which is pretty cool. Nice little detail.
一応仲間なんだからさ、お互いのことは知っておくべきだろ。慣れ合いとかじゃなくて、ほら、そう連携を取るためっていうか、息を合わせるためっていうか、俺としては不安が残る。リーダーのことを何も知らないままじゃさ。
そうね。
She sits back down on the bench. It looks like she reacted to the word leader. She must feel some sense of responsibility for sweeping us into this Valhalla society of hers. Alright, finally some new stuff. Anyway, getting her to stay is the first part, so time for the second. Although I do understand that everything that we've read up until this point is important. Is it, actually? No, yeah, most of it, yeah. Actually, yeah. Although some dialogue we have read, of course. No, most of it is important. So, yeah.
それで何を聞きたいの？
猫好きなの？
ああ、そうだな。勇気のこと。
I think she likes cats.
私の何？
何というか、漠然と勇気のこと知りたいだけなんだけど。
I am curious too.
ああ、そうだ。アニメ詳しいよな。
それなりには。
どんなアニメが好きなんだ？あれ、実はそこまで好きでもない？
考えていただけ。あなたが知らないアニメを答えても反応に困るでしょうし。
大体わかると思う。一人暮らし始めてから結構見てるんだ。動画配信サイトで。
どのサイト？
いくつかあるんだけど、メインで見てるのはネットフラックスだな。
それなら最近のアニメが中心ね。
最近増えてきたぞ、昔のも。あれ見たよ、コードゲッシュ。
Why she turned into a furry?
めっちゃ反応したな。
あれは名作。3周はしてる。
お。
俺まだ途中なんだけど面白いよな。主人公側が単純な正義じゃないっていうのが俺には新鮮だった。
そうね。主人公のハルーシュは私も好きなキャラクター。
あれ、意外だな。
何が？
あっちの方が好きかと思った。親友のハザックだっけ？正義を貫くって感じ。ハルーシュの方は目的のためには手段を選ばないだろう。そういうところ結城の主義には合わないんじゃないか？
主義と好みは別。
そりゃそうだけど。ああ、でもキャラクター的には似てるかもな。
そう？
なんとなく雰囲気が。
I know that just struck her massive ego. Look at that face. She has the same blank expression as usual, but it looks like she's finally starting to loosen up. She's loosening up way quicker than I thought she would, bro. It's only been like 3 minutes. I'm pleasantly surprised. Is that a bit of joy I'm seeing? Yes. I knew Yuuki was easier to figure out than she seemed. Or so he says. But now I'm lost. I'm willing to accept that principles and tastes are different, but yeah, the image of Yuuki in my mind is straight-laced and rigid. And aside from the times when she truly has no choice, she's fixated on doing things with honor.
アニメのキャラクターに憧れてこんな性格になったと思っているかもしれないけれど。
Yep.
ああ、違うのか？
違う。強くあろうとそう心がけていただけ。特定の何かを模倣したわけじゃない。
I respect that.
全く影響を受けなかったとは言わないけれど、強いて目標となったキャラクターを挙げるのなら、憧れたのは私じゃなくて。
じゃなくて？
話しすぎた。
No. Go on. She cuts the conversation short and stands up.
何か分かったらまた連絡する。
Hey, no, come back.
ああ、わかった。写真ありがとな。
礼なんて必要ない。私たちはバルハラソサイエティの仲間なんだから。
Yuuki says this at school as a cucumber before leaving. Okay. Cool as a cucumber, alright. She's trying to be strong, huh? She's not admiring an anime character or something, then why is she trying to be strong? She's gonna be the type that has this act of acting strong and being strong, because without a doubt, I'm not saying, because I don't have a doubt that she isn't strong. She is strong, but she's probably a big old softie at heart. That's what I feel. That's what I get from her. I've always thought that she had an overactive chuny imagination and turned out that way, but it looks like that's not the case. I guess she's just not just the stereotypical chuny. And as antisocial as she may be, she's surprisingly conscientious. So is this dang word. I'm pretty sure I've searched it up before too.
Conscientious.
Wow, I was off. Wishing to do one's work or duty well and thoroughly. Oh, I'm pretty like that too. Conscientious of who she's speaking to when she speaks. Even though she's uptight, when I try to meet her halfway, she tends to loosen herself up. I'm guessing that if I keep my bias out of this and take my time to interact with her, she'll open up more of her heart to me. Once I do, I'm sure she'll reveal the latter half of that sentence she didn't finish. That being said, in any case, I've got what seems to be the trick of interacting with Yuuki, but the question is if I should stick to this branch. Oh right, I was like, wait, why? Yeah, and we installed the memories, but already forgot. I can't say things are their best here. Oh, so it sounds like he's trying to, or we are trying to find the branch of a moment in a branch, which could be from episode 1, 2, or 3, or whatever, where we can possibly bond with her more as best as possible so they can get close, because based off of what future Sophie said, it sounds like she's the key to defeating Iris. It can probably put things back on course, but they wouldn't necessarily go according to plan. Well, that's what happens when you try to manipulate destiny to your will. Man, I've got a pretty crazy task on my shoulders.
さて。
Uh-huh. I take out my phone and look at the message Sora sent me a few minutes ago to see that her talk with Kosaka-senpai is over. Oh yes, it was this moment. I had the 9-ball. I decided to play it safe as to not needlessly split off any branches, right? We're going back to... Oh? I really like too how we can go to one of these moments, we get new dialogue for Noah, and he's like, alright, now let's look for another moment and know more of her. Like this is actually such a cool concept. I really like this. Now, the moment we were just on was, I believe, Sora's episode. Now we're jumping to episode 3, Haruka's. To bond with Yuuki. Very cool. Very, very cool. It's been about 40 minutes or so since they left. Wait, what happened again? Just as the sky turns totally dark, Kosaka-senpai and Yuuki return to my place ahead of the others. They plop down a bag filled with an assortment of snacks and drinks.
空と九条は？
肉が高かった。
Oh, this was the party before the confrontation with Iris at the shrine.
え？肉？
別のお店の方が安いかもって。だから私たちだけ先に帰ってきた。セーブ画面セーブするの？セーブした。
ああ。節約。
彼女って
倹約家なんだよ。
意外ね。コロナグループの令嬢なのに。いいお嫁さんになりそう。
かも。
Nah, that's you. That's you. No, it's you, I swear!
新見さんは九条さんみたいな。
ん？
あ、いいえ。あ、トイレ借りても。
You know, another thought just popped up. Because he surely remembers... I keep saying this, but I'm assuming he remembers even the intimate moments with every maiden. So I wonder how he actually feels about all of them. Like, will there be a moment where he has to choose one and doesn't have to be Noah? I wonder. Because if he does remember everything, I wonder if he still feels that way towards Haruka, since he has all the memories, allegedly. This is interesting.
ああ、いいですよ。どうぞ。
But current Kakeru with the memories is like, no. We have to get closer to Noah. So, sorry, Kosaka, for now.
ありがとうございます。
Senpai exits the living room and Yuki sits down right across from me.
ピザは
あと15分くらいじゃねえかな。さっき頼んだばっか。早すぎると冷めるし。
そう。帰り道。
ん？
はるかに相談をされた。
何を？ってそれは聞いちゃダメか。
詳しく話すつもりはないけれど、はるかは使い物にならないかもしれない。
え？
怯えている自分の力に。
自分の？どうして？
いえ、聞かなかったことにして。少しおせっかいが過ぎた。ただ失敗が許されないミッションならはるかは外すべきだと思う。
本人がそう言ってたのか？
いいえ。
だったら言われた通り聞かなかったことにする。
そう。
不満か？
同意していたら見損なっていた。
試したのかよ。
そう。どうかしら。
Yuki chuckles nonchalantly. Normally, I would have given up on trying to deal with her and just awkwardly laughed back, but of course. Whoa! I gotta save.
セーブするの？セーブして。
It's not funny at all. Anyway, yeah, I think this is a solid spot to end. Yeah. Or maybe not. I don't know. It's probably a little weird. I think for this route, you're really gonna have to pay attention because we're doing a whole lot of jumping around. Dude, this was one heck of a start to episode 4. Like, actually, one of the craziest ways to start an episode, I think. I was not expecting any of this. I was thinking we were gonna have another like breakdown of what had happened, like similar to episode 1 to 3, where it was just, oh yeah, the evil eye, artifacts, you know, the world open, da 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 da. But no, they took a completely different approach. Very completely different approach. And I was very pleasantly surprised by that. That was cool. I have so many questions. And like, for example, one of them being, so how does he feel about the maidens? Like, does he still have those feelings for all of them? Since he is now remembering all these things from all these branches, even probably the intimate moments. So it's like, what could be going on, you know? And I'm sure maybe they'll reveal that later on in this episode. And it'd be cool too if in the end they allowed you to make a choice, because he kind of has a spot for all of them, especially if he's able to remember everything that we've read up until this point in every episode. But that's what I'm most curious about. And then the next thing being, who is really Noah? That's what I'm also very curious about, as I'm sure a lot of you are as well. But for me, it's the first thing that I just said, because I'm assuming with the memories, he's going to have those feelings as well. So I wonder how they're going to do that. They split them off with like their own branches and how they're incorporating each mating to each episode. Like, all the episodes are very important, I think. It seems like I genuinely can't see yourself fully enjoying the series if all you do is play one of the episodes and that's it. Like, this is one of those things where you have to do everything from start to finish. I can't think of any titles right now, but I'm sure there have been series where you can watch any part and it'll make somewhat sense, or you'll still are able to enjoy the experience well. But with this one, I don't see that being the case to get the best experience. But anyway, that's enough of the yapping. Thank you so much for joining me. This was really, really fun. I'm actually going to record another one as soon as I finish recording on this episode. So it's a wait for you, but not for me. Sorry, not sorry. I have to end it at some point, you know? But again, thank you for being here. If you did enjoy this video, please consider hitting that like and subscribing if you haven't already done so, guys. We need like 6 more subscribers for 1,000. That's freaking crazy. Please consider subscribing. It would mean a lot to me. With that being said, I'll let y'all go. I'll see you guys on the next video as always. Y'all stay safe. And until next time.